What is up, everybody? I am your host and longest reigning and current WWE pay-per-view champion. I am the hot commodity you one came to see and see, and I'm joined by my good friend and co-host. Introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Christian. I'm back. Sorry I wasn't here for Backlash. That was in my home territory. But it was a good show. Crowd was fucking insane. I popped when Carlito came, when Savio, that whole street fight. I told you guys it should have been the main event. Disappointed I lost, but Night of Champions is around the corner, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, the crowd was fucking great. We knew Backlash was going to be very predictable, but it was really good because of the crowd. So even the Io Sky and Bianca match was very popping. So good show overall, and really it was because of that fucking popping crowd.
Yeah, dude, the crowd was really amazing. So much,
So
obviously.
and they were good.
They
I
wanted to
knew it was
come
going to be good
back.
because of SmackDown.
Yeah, dude, Puerto Rico, man, live up, live up, live up. Well, yeah, you should be used to the disappointment because how many pay-per-views has this been now? Like three, four?
Since War Games.
Since War Games, man. Wow. You got to come for me, man. Well, we're the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, and here we are covering WWE Monday Night Raw from May 8th, 2023, live in Jacksonville, Florida. And as I was watching it, I was reminding myself that this is AEW home territory. So I was kind of
Oh
looking at
shit! I
that.
didn't even realize that.
Yep. So I was looking in that lens as I was watching it. But Cody Rhodes comes out to start. Cody obviously defeated Brock Lesnar at Backlash. And Cody says, "This was my home during the pandemic. We made a lot of good memories, and I say we do it again tonight." Cody says, "At Backlash, I beat Brock Lesnar." And he goes, "The night after WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar took away my focus. It is very clear what is next for me, and it's the World Heavyweight Championship. Let's talk about Night of Champions. I will be champion after Jacksonville. Let the tournament begin." So then, a little, good introduction from Cody. He's, obviously going to reminisce about AEW to kind of make the crowd get excited for Raw. He obviously is claiming that he's done with Brock. So good promo to start the night. We got our first match, though, and it's Damian Priest taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth Rollins. And before the match starts, Seth actually comes face to face with Cody Rhodes as they both look at the title, and that kind of gives you a hint there what's going to happen. A lot of back and forth action in this match, but the end came when Nakamura applies a leg lock to Damian Priest, but Seth nails a frog splash and pedigree to Nakamura to get the 3 count. Is Seth Rollins the right guy out of these 3 men to make it to the world title? I'm happy he won, but what do you think?
I really wish Damian Priest would have won, and I'm not saying this because I'm biased. Because we all know Damian Priest is one of my favorite wrestlers. But man, he needs a crazy push. It's his time. But I do think we're the right man won in this match. Yes. Seth Rollins has deserved this for a long time. So and I know Paul Heyman jokes about how that title is a title because made because like no one can beat Roman. But I think that title was made for Seth Rollins specifically, not Cody. Not and I'll talk more about it later when the matches like when we do more of the matches. But I just think that title has Seth freaking Rollins written all over it. He's fought Roman, has teased the world title for 2 years now. So this is his time coming.
Dude, I'm excited. Now we do know he will be taking on the winner of the next triple threat match later on in the night, but Seth gets a big win here over these two huge talented wrestlers. But yeah, like you kind of said, we kind of need Seth to kind of advance here. We then see a backstage confrontation between Imperium and the undisputed tag team champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That will lead to a match between the two teams later on. We then see Mustafa Ali defeat Otis with Maxine Dupree and Chad Gable with Otis's side. Otis accidentally runs into the ring post, and Ali nails a 450 splash. Surprising to see Ali get the victory here because Ali hasn't really done much. And Otis is huge, man. Like he's big. He got a lot bigger, I think, this past week seeing him.
No, no.
Not a lot to talk about here because there's really no storyline for this. But what are your thoughts on Otis? Do you think he's gonna go his on his own way? And obviously Ali got the win, but Ali never really nothing happens with him, so it's kind of hard to really bet on what to see with him.
No, yeah. Ever since the cruiserweight uh like 205 live ended, we haven't seen Ali do shit. I think his best match I've ever seen Ali was WrestleMania 34 pre-show when he fought Cedric Alexander for the cruiserweight title. He ended up losing, but I still think that's the best match he's ever competed in. Um they have nothing going for him. He doesn't have a gimmick that's watchable. He sucks as a heel. Anyone can be good as a babyface. Otis, I just want Chad Gable to go on his own, and I've been saying this for fucking months. Um, he needs a little bit of a push. And Otis, I'm kind of this is all going back to the Mandy Rose thing they did during the pandemic, and I don't want to see that because Otis can. I think Otis is. They need to treat this guy like WWE has always treated bigger guys like dummies, unless they're the Undertaker or Kane. And
Sexual
now,
chocolate.
huh?
I said sexual chocolate, like Mark Henry, like
Yes, that too. Like they're always treating the bigger guys like stupid. They're always giving them stupid gimmicks, and they can wrestle, especially Otis for his size. So, and I hope they don't do this shit with like Bronson Reed either, like whatever. But I don't know. Otis, if they do turn him to like maximum male models, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
I'll be excited to kind of see. I like Maxine Dupree, so I'm
She's
excited
hot
to
as
see her
fuck.
100%. But I do agree with you. We need to see this sort of split with the maximum male models. We then get our second triple threat match of the night. We have Cody Rhodes taking on Finn Balor and The Miz. And it looked as if Cody was going to win this one here until Brock Lesnar shows up and he pulls Cody outside and nails an F5. Balor then nails The Miz with a 2D draw, and Finn Balor will advance to take on Seth Rollins later on in the night. After the match, Brock F5s Cody Rhodes through an announce table, and Brock says, "Look at this face. You want to talk about me?" He screams, "Me." Cody says, "Cody, look at my face. You want to take credit for this? I want to fight. You, me, Night of Champions, a fight. Who is the coward now?" So a lot to unpack here. Let's first talk about the match. Was Balor the right guy here?
I mean, if they're gonna give him something else to do besides the whole Edge feud that's over, then I guess. I mean, he doesn't interest me. I want him to personally lead the Judgment Day. But I don't think he's the wrong guy.
And what are your takes on? I mean, fucking Brock's face just looked like he had been in a fucking car wreck. What are your take on? I mean, obviously Brock's gonna be pissed because his face is broken, pretty much. Uh, do you want to see another Brock versus Cody match Night of Champions? And Brock wants a fight. He doesn't want a normal match. So what are your thoughts?
It's I don't want to see this match again. The way it ended at Backlash, I don't think we need this again. What are they doing with this? Are they doing this so Cody has something to do after or before he fights Roman at SummerSlam? Who the fuck's fighting Roman at SummerSlam? SummerSlam's not that far away.
No.
It's only in a couple months, and they're doing these
And it's in
stupid
early
shitty
August
pay-per-views.
too.
Yeah, and they're doing these stupid little shitty pay-per-views to create little storylines. I understand Backlash. Backlash is an every year event, and I'm happy they didn't do like, and they did it right. We're in the right place. Like, but Night of Champions, we don't need as cool as it was back in the early 2000s when it first was a thing. There's too many fucking championships, and two of the championships are combined. Like I don't think we need a Night of Champion. And I understand with the new world heavyweight title coming in, it like adds an extra one. But like I don't think we need a Night of Champions. So I don't know. I don't know if Finn was the right person. Maybe I know Cody wasn't the right person. He doesn't need to win this title. He needs to finish the job. He is gonna be the one to beat Roman. The Miz, however, he's been treated like absolute shit the past
Mhm.
couple years. I mean, how is he the host of WrestleMania? He needs to have a fucking match. He needs to be on that damn card somewhere.
I think
Um,
that this would have been a good pick because he's him versus Seth would have been a good match. I think he
and
could
they've done it before and they've had
on
a
the
great
title.
match.
Yep.
Absolutely. I agree.
I agree. I think like as far as Night of Champions, it's probably just because the Saudi Arabians want to see Brock Lesnar, and there's really no other storyline for Brock other than his fight with Cody. So why not book that again? It's lazy booking, but that's nothing new with WWE. We think our next match. Go ahead.
No,
Oh,
I
sorry,
don't have
sorry,
anything.
sorry, my man.
There
We
you go.
have the SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio defeating Dana Brooke, who I call Dana Botch all the time. And that dude, I felt bad for her. She tried to give the high fives to that
I
fan.
know.
That fan didn't give two fucks about her, man. And I get it. She hasn't been on WWE since like November. Rhea gets the easy win after the Prism Lock submission. After Rhea hits a second Riptide and the Prism Lock submission again. But Natalia, the Queen of Hearts, comes out and gets in Rhea Ripley's face. And it looks like Natalia is going to be the one to be the next person to take on the Nightmare. What were your thoughts on Rhea Ripley and Natalia in the match?
This was okay. First off, the Rhea Ripley versus Dana Brooke match, that was unwatchable. I
Mm.
knew from the second, I didn't even know who Rhea Ripley was fighting. I love Rhea Ripley. I love her theme. Shout out Motionless in White. But this was just so dominant. I mean, Dana Brooke had no, I knew she wasn't even going to lay a touch. Natalia, however, she got absolutely no pop when her music came.
Yeah.
Is this her new little opponent for Night of Champions? I wonder who she's going to fight at SummerSlam if she's fighting jobbers like this. Shout out to Natalia. I respect Natalia. She's been in the industry for fucking decades. And she's a former world champion.
Hmm.
But she doesn't do shit. She, I mean, she had a little tag team title run, but no one cares. I think I don't know, with this draft now. Rhea's the top of Raw. I think maybe everyone like Damage Control went to fucking SmackDown. I mean, Becky still. I think we're gonna get a Becky versus Rhea at SummerSlam. That could be the only person I can think of.
I
Nope,
agree.
I
I mean,
don't know.
I think. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. There's no chance in hell that Natalia beats Ripley. I don't know why.
This
There's no
is
chance Lee Vega was gonna beat Ripley. There's no
Yeah,
chance
and
Dana.
I think it's another one of these matches where kind of like you said, like just preparing for the next pay-per-view, and like they're just gonna put whoever just to kind of easy booking. Natalia, it could be interesting because she is a submission specialist and Rhea is more powerful. But again, I mean, we kind of know who's gonna win this one here, but Natalia definitely is the lead that I want to see take on Rhea Ripley. But next we have the undisputed tag team champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeating Imperium after Sami nails a Haluva kick to Vinci. I like seeing Sami and Kevin as champions. They're a good tag team because they're friends. Imperium is a great tag team too. What are your thoughts on the match?
I knew this was a easy ass win for Sammy and KO, but this was a good match. I didn't think it was bad at all. Imperium did their thing. I, I think they're future tag team competitors for sure. We just got to see who wins that Night of Champions first between
I agree.
Roman and Sosa.
Again, another match where it's kind of like they're just putting a match just to show the stars.
Yeah, but that's interesting. Wait. Do we know the match that's happening for?
No, no, not yet. We don't know the
Okay,
match
no.
yet. But
Okay.
but I'm talking about this one. Like, although Imperium is a great tag team, we knew they weren't gonna win over Kevin and Sammy right after Backlash.
Oh yeah, right.
That's put on the card. Um, we did get to see the way, which was cool. We saw Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, and Dexter Lumis all backstage. Good to see NXT guys there. Speaking of NXT, we see Zoe Stark make her Raw debut. She defeats Nikki Cross after the Z36, whatever she calls it. Not a lot to talk about here, but do you think Zoe Stark can be a contender for the title?
Uh, they need to make a fucking one women's mid card title and get rid of the fucking women's tag team titles because there's girls like Zoe Stark. I don't know if Zoe Stark would be the main roster championship worthy yet, but I was a little bit familiar with her work in NXT. She's not bad. But Nikki Cross, she could win. Like, what would you call it? Like the women's like mid card
Yeah,
championship or like the women's television championship? I don't know. Something
something. Yeah, something
they need to
different.
give like each brand has their main champion. Let there be one mid card champion where they can defend the title all like both brands. Like that'd be cool. But no, sadly, I don't think she's world championship material yet. Um we're just gonna have to see. She's gonna have to either have a match or have a type of feud with somebody. So we'll see.
I agree with you, my friend. Yeah, we'll see with Zoe Stark. We see Rhea and Dominic talking backstage. Xavier Woods laughs, and then we get a challenge um, from these guys. So, interesting to see Xavier Woods, an action leader. We then see Trish Stratus backstage, and Trish is putting up missing posters for Becky Lynch. And we come back on Raw, and Trish walks out to the ring. Trish says, "Have you seen her? I am very worried and concerned. Becky Lynch is missing. We will find Becky, and when I do, you can say thank you, Trish. She is probably in Iowa crying with her dumb daughter. She doesn't know her colors. She's two, and her daughter doesn't even know her colors yet. Becky won't come to Raw because this is my show, and no one is gonna steal my spotlight." That's when Becky Lynch's music comes on. Trish looks scared and then laughs at everybody. She says, "Gotcha. She's never coming back. My daughter wanted a doll, and she wants to name that doll Becky Lynch." And as she continues to talk, Becky Lynch appears behind Trish, and Becky attacks Trish and nails a Bex floater. Becky says, "You want me, Trish? I'm right here. The man has come around to kick your ass." Becky Lynch coming back after Trish attacks her after WrestleMania. What are your thoughts? I mean, I'm excited as all shit.
Lynch versus Trish SummerSlam.
I'm
Let's not
excited.
have a stupid bullshit match in between. Let's keep them feuding. If they want to compete against each other, let's have them compete in tag teams, but barely hit each other. We need this match at SummerSlam. This is Trish Stratus's final goodbye, final match. And I think this is going to be Trish Stratus. I think Trish Stratus is going to hang up the boots, after this match. And I mean, Becky's living it, man. She got the tag team with Lita and Trish at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
She won the tag team titles with Lita, fought against Lita at the Elimination Chamber in a different country. Now could possibly fight Trish Stratus in the biggest pay-per-view of the summer at where's SummerSlam at this year? Detroit.
Detroit.
So
Big D.
I mean, Becky's living it. She's a future SmackDown or Raw Women's Champion, whatever championships on Raw, and we'll see what's next for this feud. But I'm enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying
I'm
it.
torn because I have my best growing up and my best as an adult going at it. So I'm torn here, but I'm excited to see both of them go at it. Next, we see Dominic Mysterio defeating Xavier Woods after Dominic rolls up Woods after a missed springboard elbow drop. Not a lot of story here. Just again, another way to put these people on here. Dominic, I think, needs to start doing some more singles competition and improve more of his stuff. Woods is good, but at this point, without New Day, Woods is really nothing. What are your thoughts?
I agree. What's next for Dominic? Is he still gonna do shit with his dad? I don't know. I think that's not over yet. But the question is, do we want to see another Dominic versus Ray?
I don't. I want to see Dominic go after a title and lose and not win, but then win. Because I just again like I'm over when they replay matches. Let a match stand on the test. This is it, and then maybe do it next year, but don't do it at every single pay-per-view. It would make sense for them to still fight, but I just don't think that you would continue to fight your son, especially now. Like Ray just attacks Dominic like it's nothing. When just like 2-3 weeks ago he was like, "I'll never fight you." So
Right.
that's the only thing that's silly. Speaking of silliness, Jinder Mahal and Indus are going to be on Raw. They look powerful, but again, I can't really take them seriously. Um, we then see The Miz and Shinsuke Nakamura talking backstage. Shinsuke challenges Miz to a match next week. We then see the women's tag team champions Liv Morgan and Raquel challenge Chelsea Green and Sonya next week as well on Raw. And then we see Cody Rhodes backstage, and Cody says, I don't get to be the first champion. This is the second time Brock Lesnar has attacked me again for no reason. Brock Lesnar's grip on the main event has been released. I pinned Brock and he can't handle it. Let's fight. And I have champions. I accept. I mean, we knew Cody was going to accept, but I think the reason why Cody is mad is because he lost. I mean, Brock's mad because he lost. I mean, that's the reason, Cody. Now you know. Let's cover our main event quick here. We have Seth Rollins taking on Finn Balor. The winner will be in the number one, will be at Night of Champions to compete for the World Heavyweight Championship. Great action here. I liked when they did the whole scene where Finn, it might have been Finn, they sort of like went back to SummerSlam 2016. This time, Finn powerbombed Seth Rollins into the guard railing. The end comes though when Rollins nails an inverted and normal stomp and gets a 3 count. Seth Rollins will advance to Night of Champions. After the match, Seth stares at the world title. Seth Rollins, man, what do you think? I really think this title could be his, but what do you think? Are you happy that he won?
No, yeah, like I said, it's his time. They did a really good time with this match. It was competitive. Finn was good. Finn could put up a really good fight, hit all of his signature moves. It was a clean win, no dirty bullshit, no Judgment Day involvement. Good match, good winner, right winner won.
I agree. I think um great main event. This past week on Raw, a lot of good matches, made their way. I was happy to see that we had an answer. Like I would have been mad if they'd gone, okay, we're gonna do 2 triple threats tonight, and then next week we'll find out. I'm glad they had all the matches on that card. But before we say goodbye, what was your moment of the night here on Raw?
Um, uh, that's a good question. This Raw wasn't too anything special, but I'm gonna say I'll say the stare down between Cody and Seth.
Yeah,
Even though uh we're not gonna get that match at Night of Champions probably because Cody lost. So we're not gonna get that. He's fighting Brock, so we're not gonna get that, but maybe we'll see them in a rematch. They already fought 3 times, but that would be a match where I wouldn't mind seeing again for a 4th time.
me
So
too. Those
I'm gonna
guys.
say definitely that stare down.
For me, I like seeing Becky come back, man.
That
Seeing
was awesome. Good.
continuation of this feud between Becky and Trish, 2 of the greatest women wrestlers of all time. But speaking of the greatest of all time, Christian, thank you for joining me as we
Yes, sir.
have this episode of Raw. We're going to be back with our Friday Night SmackDown recap. We have Night of Champions coming your way. That's going to be a great show and a lot more to cover. Thank you guys for tuning in. I want y'all to stay safe and stay uncensored. Bye. Peace.